Hey everyone, this is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about retrogrades. This is one of the most dreaded things in the spiritual community and even in the mainstream world that I'm seeing coming up, and so I really want to address it and say what's really going on and what is possible. So let's get into it. What is a retrograde, first of all, so that we can understand, and then what are some of the approaches, what are the perspectives people are taking, and how can we navigate and handle these times of retrograde. So what's happening from a scientific level is that Earth is spinning around the sun, and then other planets are spinning around the sun too, but Earth is going faster because it's closer. So when other planets are going around the sun, they actually seem to be going slower and actually going backwards. So from the astrology perspective, this backwards movement actually has an energetic imprint on us in that experience of that regression or that going back that then affects us in many different ways. So what's happening then for many of us as we're perceiving it in our culture is that when, for instance, Mercury goes retrograde, everyone loses their shit. Because any technological error, any communication error, travel error, or anything like that that may happen, it can be blamed on Mercury. And to be honest with you, I kind of feel bad for Mercury. I mean, Mercury and what's going on with these retrogrades is they're actually just an opportunity to go back for us. We're meant to go back, to revisit, to review, to redesign these specific archetypal vibrational categories of life during these times. So to me, it is an incredible spiritual opportunity that is energetically enhanced by a momentum going in a specific direction. One of the things that's happened in our culture and community now is that there's actually been this built-up superstition around it, where again we're blaming and we're kind of victim to these energies, which is a low level of consciousness, especially in things like spiral dynamics. That is a very base level of superstition and magic and things working against you, like on a cosmological level. Whereas when we think about it from the viewpoint of it's just an opportunity to go into, in a way, the shadow, or go in to explore more of ourselves, it can be much more handy. It's not as fun from a drama perspective, but I feel like it's going to be a lot more helpful. One of the reasons that I thought of doing this video is because this year, as we've gone through these different retrogrades, and just to put it into perspective if you're new to this, there's at least usually one planet going through a retrograde at any given point during the year. So it's not something that we can hide from when we're looking at all of the different planets. Mercury's gotten the most press, but the idea is that there's always something going back, going into the shadow for us to look at. And as we've gone through this year, I have gone through these different retrogrades, Mercury and particularly Venus as we're coming out of it right now, and it has been profound. It has been absolutely helpful, and I've really started to enjoy them as that they've come up, if I can utilize them in the right way. And so I wanted to give this perspective as we go into it. So what are the things that might be coming up that we need to go into? Well, one, it's stirring things up. It might be a subconscious thing. It might be a hidden thing that we haven't wanted to look at and address. So if we're still not wanting to look at it and address it, yeah, it's gonna make us pissy when it's in our face and it's up. But if we can go, okay, I know that a retrograde's coming, or we're in one right now, in this specific archetypal frequency, which I'll talk about in a second. So in that particular lens, in that focused view, what in my life is up, and how can I more deeply address it? And so some of these things can be kind of hard. Maybe it's not that fun. But what happens is it's an opportunity for us to renew the foundation of these different things in our lives that might just be energetic, but it might be an actual very tangible thing in our life. For instance, Venus, right? Venus's archetypal energy is that of love, of relationships, of beauty. And so to say during that retrograde, during the one that we just are having, it is a time where, oh crap, if I'm having relationship issues, it's going to bring it up, and it's going to bring those things to the surface. And so in a way, it can be an opportunity to go, okay, what needs fine-tuning? What really needs to be talked about? What needs to be unearthed and renewed so that we can build a stronger foundation, say, in our relationship, to be better as it goes direct, and then the energy is going in a forward momentum. So this is a way that you can do it. For instance, with Mercury and the communication, the external communication, like I'm doing this video before Mercury in retrograde, by the way. So the idea is this is the time right now for me to be expressed outwardly in my verbal expression and communication, Mercury in direct. But when it goes into retrograde, maybe I'm not as externally communicating. I go within and communicate with myself. And one of the things that the retrogrades always beckon is to slow down, because a lot of the mistakes aren't this superstitious thing that screwed up your computer. Often it's that we are going at a certain pace. We're still thinking that we have the momentum, but that frequency has slowed down. And so that's asking us to slow down so that we can take more time when we're sending a message or working on our computer or whatever the things are that need to be looked at. And so in whatever category that's up in retrograde, it's a time to slow down. It's a time to renew. So I suggest going and looking at all the different archetypal frequencies of the different planets, of Jupiter, of Uranus, of Saturn, so that as when we go through these different cycles in this year and the coming years, that as the retrogrades come up and you see it, kind of publicized around, you can go, oh, okay, well, I'll be sure to acknowledge that and become aware of those certain frequencies and how to balance them, or maybe what I need to look at and work on and renew and review in my life. And in this way, we can use it to enhance our life rather than being burdened, by these changing frequencies. Because no matter what it is, whether it's the moon, in the new moon in the time of going, or whether it's the waning moon where we're less energy and that everything's kind of slowing down, these times and the seasons, they're times that we can utilize the momentum, even if it's a reversed momentum, to go within and to refine ourselves into greater levels of awakening and greater levels of awareness. So I wanted to put out this idea to you so that we can start changing the narrative of this idea of astrology, and particularly these retrogrades, because we're no longer at that magic mythic stage of evolution that maybe some of our ancestors were, that are scared of these things happening, outside of us to us, and we can really engage and embrace them to make us wiser and deeper people. So I hope you like this idea. Comment below if you do. Comment below as to what your challenges are, or different ways that you can take on and embrace these frequencies as they come up and out. And of course, if you like videos like this, please subscribe, please like, please hit the bell button so that you know when new videos are coming out. Go check me out on Instagram, and I will be back next week with another video.